I was asked by one of your faculty to come over and share some things on the subject that I'm about to speak on. And so it gives me great pleasure to see all of you here today. Today I'm going to share with you about internships, the importance of internships. So to intern or not to intern, can you afford the option? Is an internship important? Absolutely essential. According to E. Mark McFadden, Director of Career Development at Alfred University. Why? About 70 to 80% of all internships lead to permanent jobs. How's that for a reason? Says Tom Allen, Director of Career Services at DeVry University in Decatur, Georgia. Problem. Kingsborough students believe internships are optional and inconvenient. And that is a problem. Now, one thing, it depends on what your major is. Like, for example, I'll use someone like me. I'm in mental health and human services. We have to do internships if we are going to graduate from this college. So we have to actually do 2. I've already done 2. I've done one for the mental health. I've done one I took substance abuse counseling as a concentration. So I've also done an internship in a substance abuse facility. Actually, I've already had experience in that area, that modality. But I've never been to a mental health facility, and I actually did an internship with a population that was mentally retarded, developmentally disabled. And to tell you the truth, if I never went and did that internship, I would never know the nuts and bolts of what you have to actually deal with. And the kind of person I am, when they asked me which of those particular groups did I want to work with, I said anyone. And they threw me into the ones that were the most profoundly affected, which I found them to be so sweet dealing with them. Anyway, problem. Many Kingsborough students are not aware how competitive it is. See, first of all, you need to know that it actually is valuable and is necessary. But once you do get to know that, you're not going to be aware that they're so competitive. And you're not going to know what is the preparation you need to do to compete successfully. I'll give you an example. I applied for an internship, was paid an internship with the city of New York. And they do this every summer. Actually, you need to be looking on the website around March, because they start interviewing people in April. And I thought that I was a shoo-in because I had already did a little work in the field, and I didn't get picked. So they're very competitive, and they were paying for undergraduates, they were paying $4 something a week. This particular agency was Department of Homeless Services. For grad students, they were paying about $700 or $6 something a week. So, those are some options you can look into. Causes. Kingsborough students do not understand enough about the value of internships. And that would be mostly for the people who, like I spoke to someone, and in their particular major, they didn't have to do an internship. That wasn't a requirement, so they wouldn't know. Causes. Students are not aware of the relationship between internships and employment potential. Now, you're really not going to know about that unless you either do research about internships, and then of course you will find out about that relationship. or you actually are in a program that requires you to do one, because most people will not just voluntarily do it unless they're very motivated. That group will. Causes. Okay, I don't know if I can go back to that.
Push the other button.
Okay, many internships are unpaid. And actually, that is one of the reasons a lot of people, they focus on that. They say, oh, no, I'm not. And actually, there is some logic to that. And unfortunately, that actually makes a gap between those students who can afford to work for a free, unpaid internship, because they get an advantage, because they don't have to be concerned about the money. So opportunity gap becomes larger for them, well, between them and someone who doesn't have the economic situation that allows them to be free to work an internship. For example, during the summer, Washington, D.C. is just full of students that are doing internships, and a lot of them aren't paid. And those students are actually able to use that to do a lot of networking, get a lot of experience, but it's because they generally come from a family that's able to support them. And so that actually is an example of showing you how it cuts out people who can't do that. Okay, solutions. Well, one solution definitely would be to increase awareness. Look at this stat. 20 years ago, 1 in 36 students participated in internships. Today, well, actually in 2007, 1 in 3 will be doing it. So look at that big difference. Whatever that percentage is, 1 out of 36 compared to 33%. That's a big difference. And of course, obviously, it has trickled down to students, the importance. Employers hired 47% of interns in 2006, and that was an increase from 36% in the year 2000. 62% of college hires have had some internship. Advantages. Internships are for gathering contacts, resume building, and experience. And that is so true. When you go to your internship, you have so many people that you're able to interact with, network with, and you're able to take that away with you when you do leave, when your internship is over. And today, actually, now when you're applying for an internship and you're competing with other people, that person who has to make the decision is actually looking for the people who've already done an internship. Talk about it really becoming stacked against a person. Internships give an employer a preview of how you will perform as an employee. And that is so important. How often do you, when you go for a job interview, get to actually have that advantage, get to actually be in the job for a period of time so that the employer is actually trying you out? You don't get to do that when you go and apply for a job, but you do get to do that when you do an internship. Okay, so to recap, internships are necessary, as the statistics have shown, and you do need to plan ahead because they're competitive. You need to shop around, and you need to give yourself a big cushion because of the competition, you need to start way ahead. Internships show you what the actual work experience is like. So this way, if you don't, once you're in there, you find, I don't like this, you can actually make some changes. Oh, okay, I think that's the end. I guess that's the end. I don't know if I can turn it off. Not everything. Okay, thank you all for your attention.
Okay.